Now, the Norfolk-based assistant referee Darren Cann has been selected to officiate in this summer's World Cup finals in South Africa. Cann from Porringland will make up 1/3 of a team led by Premier League referee Howard Webb. Now they'll face medical fitness and, of course, those all-important eye tests ahead of the championships, which start on June the 11th. Peter Kirkup from Northamptonshire has been named as England's reserve official.
Well, time now for our monthly catch-up from ITV Fixers, our campaign that helps 16 to 25-year-olds do something to make the world a better place.
Well, tonight we meet two Cambridgeshire teenagers teaching a new generation about the importance of saving energy.
With ITV Fixers, they're creating cartoon characters to help school children calculate their own carbon footprint, the contribution they make to global warming at home, when they travel and when they're at school.
I'm Steph Giuseppe, I'm from Somersham and I'm 17 years old.
And I'm Natasha Lee Kilby and I'm 17 as well and I'm from Bury.
Our ITV Fixers project is to teach school children about carbon footprinting. It's really important to get young children into good habits so they carry them on in later life. Changing habits when you're older is really hard.
And they also convince their parents to do it as well, so it's kind of impacting on the whole family, making a bigger impact on the world. Today, ITV Fixers have arranged for us to come to the Botanic Gardens at Cambridge University to learn about the impact that greenhouse gases are having on the environment.
I always used to think that this garden peaked in about the 3rd week of May, and very often now it's the 3rd week of April. Lots of flowers coming into flower out of season. You never quite know what to expect. Not only do we see the plants responding, but we have a Met station, and we've been recording for over 100 years now. The temperature has increased by 1.2 degrees C.
We've created 3 different resource packs, one for secondary schools, one for primary schools.
We created 2 characters and ITV Fixers is helping develop them further into animations to make it more engaging to the students. ITV Fixers has put us in touch with animator Vicky McFarlane.
So I've got the brief here and I've taken the idea and made the monster.
I really like the fact that you've kept the long arms and the odd eyes to really make him really quite comical.
I was thinking for the part where he leaves his lights on, maybe having an image of his house. He walks past the window, turns lights on, and then you can see that he's turned all the lights on in his house.
I think the 5 to 9-year-olds it's aimed at and the primary school children really relate to it because it's really cartoony and simple and it's really effective as well. This sort of thing with the presentation and the whole day really makes it more effective than listening to a story.
Today we're going to go talk to a class of children at the Spinney Primary School in Cambridge. OK, so does anyone know what actually makes a carbon footprint really big?
Many children aren't actually aware of what their carbon footprint is, and especially at such a young primary school age.
So, you've all filled in your sheets, and yeses are bad. So for every yes you've got, you need to draw around your shoe on a piece of paper and colour it in.
And once you've drawn all your footprints, we're going to make them into a big trail around the room and see how big the class's footprint is.
It'll make me realise that you have to cut down on CO2 and carbon footprint, otherwise it will damage the earth more.
We cycle to school every day. We don't have a bath, we usually have showers.
I can go home and tell my parents how to help as well, and then they can tell their friends, and then all together we can try and do something about it.
I think this project is fantastic, and it's so important to educate young people, get them into the proper habits on how to live their life in a way that you know, really reduces the effect of climate change.
Eventually we want these packs to go into most schools within Cambridgeshire and then on a national scale and hopefully into the national curriculum as well.
The children will continue to pick up the bad habits that their parents have. They'll pass them on to their children and their grandchildren. And if we don't do something now, who knows what could happen tomorrow.
And for further information, you can visit itvfixers.com or you can call 01223 655 515. Now, this is a non-premium rate call, and your network operator rates will apply from a BT landline. Calls from other networks may be higher, and from mobiles will be considerably more. Please seek the bill payer's permission, though, before phoning. Lines close on the 31st of December 2010 at 5 p.m. Calls made after the closing time will not be answered, but may still be charged. There you go.
Indeed. Now, there may have been heavy snow in Scotland today, but our region looks as if it might at last have shaken off the worst effects of the winter.
It's been trouble, hasn't it? Oh, yes, of course it has. Today was one of the mildest of the year so far, believe it or not. And with spring due to start on Monday, Malcolm Robertson's been looking at how some sections of our tourist industry are gearing up for the holiday season.
Let's not kid ourselves, it's hardly Marbella. But after the winter we've had, it was positively balmy at Walcott in Norfolk today. Quite a contrast from the freezing conditions of the last 2 months. With the Met Office expected to confirm that this has been the coldest winter for 30 years, a lot of preparations for spring and summer have had to be put on hold. But that is about to change. Cynthia Taylor and Hilary Wilkins are making up for lost time. But it's certainly a bit of a pain, with more than 200 boats at Richardson's Yard at Stalham to get ready for what they hope will be a busy season.
I've got the 16th of August for a week, so what you could do is you could combine...
Judging by the calls they've received, that seems guaranteed.
We're actually 34% up on future bookings and still a lot of capacity in the peak weeks, which historically always fill. And in actual fact, we've got 4 boats left out of 200 for Easter.
There's a load of work still to be done at this caravan park at Bacton before they can begin to think how the business will grow this summer. Winter's certainly taken its toll.
Frozen pipes on caravans, and you have to wait for it to fall before you can restart the caravans back up. So we're so glad now that the weather is coming in so we can do all the jobs that we wanted to do outdoors.
When you're called Ronnie Barker, it's a fair chance you're a bit of a card. And let's face it, you have to have a sense of humour to want to go on a caravan holiday in Norfolk in February.
Where I live in Stevenage, it is wet, cold and snowy. Up in here, it's beautiful. You can see, that's how I'm running around.
We don't want to go overboard, but now some of us have shed our winter clothes, brighter, warmer days are surely not far away. Malcolm Robertson, Anglia News.
Look at that shirt sleeves, eh?
Not quite, I don't think.
I don't know. Rachel's here. She lost her winter vest. Must be winter.
Thanks, John.
Winter's gone, is it?
Not quite yet. It doesn't technically finish till the end of February. It has felt milder, but actually temperatures are around average for this time of year. So let's take a look. We've got more rain on the way. It doesn't seem like winter's finished with us yet. Let's take a look.
Well, earlier, of course, we told you how police are giving out hundreds of free CCTV cameras to residents on an estate in Northamptonshire. We asked for your views, and we've had a couple in, haven't we?
Just a couple of emails here for you. This is one from David Mills from Colchester. Thank you for this one, David, who says, I had to install a CCTV. We had our windows broken several times. Some who live nearby complained about me putting them up. I have found out that when 2 of the families that complained had items stolen, they soon told the police that I had CCTV, and it might have been something. Funny how when I needed it, I was the first yet to come to.
Yeah, well, Steve has given us a bit of a different point of view. He says it's outrageous behaviour, giving public CCTV that points in the direction of private property. It would mount to intrusive surveillance. Right. So different views there.
Brilliant. Thanks for those. Now, we're not the only ones celebrating the fact that spring is perhaps finally in the air and that Easter is getting a little closer. Just take a look at these pictures. Look at these. That's just a hen, of course, but this, my word, laid by Matilda the hen in Ipswich. It's 4 times the size of a normal egg. Certainly must have brought tears to her eyes, I imagine. Oh, absolutely. Matilda.
It looks enormous. Not surprisingly, Matilda's owner, Mark Cornish, was a bit surprised. Apparently he thought that a goose had actually got in and laid it, but actually this was only the 4th egg that Matilda has ever laid, so obviously she was saving up that whopper.
It wasn't actually a record. The biggest record, there was actually 1896, believe it or not. Right, that's it from us with those amazing egg-tastic facts.
Yep, ecstatic. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye.